Let's continue with Act 4 of The Merchant of Venice. And this act is very important, and especially this scene is very important because this is the famous trial scene in which Antonio is tried in a Venetian court of law. So, Act 4, Scene 1, it takes place in a court of justice, a court of justice or a court of law at Venice. In this scene, enter the Duke, the Magnificos. Please understand, Magnificos are all important citizens, VIPs, noblemen. Antonio, Bassanio, Salario, and Gratiano with attendants, with others. Now, Duke asks, what? Is Antonio here? Is Antonio present? Antonio says, ready, so please your grace. Yes, I am ready for the trial. Duke says, I am sorry for thee. Now, Duke is feeling sorry for Antonio. He is regretting over it. I am sorry for thee. Thou art come to answer a stony adversary, an inhuman wretch, incapable of pity, void and empty from any dram of mercy. The Duke says, he tells Antonio that he feels regret for him. He is really sorry for him because you have come to answer. Answer, you can say, to defend himself. He has come to defend himself against a stony adversary. Stony means like a stone. Like a stone means hard. So you can say hard hearted adversary is the opponent. He says, I'm sorry for you because you have come to defend yourself against a hard hearted opponent, an inhuman wretch. Inhuman means who is not having human qualities, an inhuman wretch, an inhuman poor fellow, incapable of pity, actually incapable of pity, who cannot do pity, who cannot show mercy, void and empty. Void again means devoid and empty of any dram of mercy. Dram means drop of mercy. He is devoid of any drop of mercy. For that, Antonio says, I have heard your grace hath taken great pains to qualify his rigorous cause. I have heard that your grace, he is referring to the Duke, that you have taken great pains to qualify. Qualify means subside or moderate his rigorous course. Rigorous course means rigorous, you can say strict. Course is the course of proceedings, but since he stands obdurate, obdurate means adamant, since he is adamant, since he is not ready to listen, he is determined, and that no lawful means can carry me out of his envy's reach. Since he is adamant, and at the same time, no lawful means, no legal means of saving can carry me means can save me out of his envy's reach. I do oppose my patience to his fury. I oppose my patience to his fury means I am ready to meet his anger with patience and am armed. Armed means ready to suffer with a quietness of spirit. I am ready to suffer with the quietness of spirit, with peaceful spirit, the very tyranny and rage of his. The very tyranny, you can say the kind of enmity and rage. Rage is the anger of his. He says, I am ready to suffer his tyranny and anger. For that, Duke says, go one and call the Jew into the court. Salario says, he is ready at the door. He comes, my lord. And then Shylock enters over there. Duke says, make room, make space, and let him stand before our face. Let him stand in front of us, right? So then he talks to Shylock. The Duke talks to Shylock. He says, Shylock, the world thinks and I think so too. So, सारी दुनिया ऐसा सोचती है और मैं भी यही सोचता हूँ that thou but leadest this fashion of thy malice, that you leadest means continue with this fashion of your malice, This fashion of your malice means, fashion you can say, show of your malice. Malice is the cruelty. This show of cruelty means the way you are showing cruelty. I think even the world thinks so. To the last hour of the act, you are just showing this cruelty, you are just showing this malice to the last hour of the act, means to the last moment, until the last moment तुम सिर्फ लास्ट तक इस तरह से शो कर रहे हो. एंड देन इट इज थॉट, और फिर ऐसा समझा जाता है, thou will show thy mercy and remorse. Remorse is regret, more strange than is thy strange apparent cruelty. Apparent means as it appears now, appearing cruelty. It's not real cruelty, it is appearing cruelty. He says that the world thinks, means people think, and even I think so, that the way you are showing your cruelty and malice, it is just a kind of show. You are just pretending to be like this until the last moment, and at the last moment it is thought that you will show mercy and regret in a stranger way than in the strange way in which you are showing your cruelty. And where thou now exacts the penalty, and where now you are exacting the penalty, means you are insisting on having the penalty, insisting to draw the penalty or claiming the penalty, which is pound of this poor merchant's flesh, thou will not only lose the forfeiture, forfeiture again means penalty, but touched with human gentleness and love, forgive a moiety of the principle. Moiety means share or portion of the principle. He says, and then it is believed that you will be showing your cruelty or malice till the last moment only, and then at this moment when you are claiming the penalty, which is 1 pound of flesh of Antonio, you will not only forgive the penalty, lose here means forgive the penalty, but also touched with human gentleness, you will also forgive some portion of the principal amount. What is the principal? Principal is 3000 ducats. Glancing means looking an eye of pity on his losses. And why will you do that? By looking at his losses, with an eye of pity, that have of late means recently, that have recently so huddled on his back, so pressed upon his back, so accumulated on his back, enow means enough to press a royal merchant down. The recent losses that he has met, it has so pressed on his back, which is enough to press a royal merchant down, and pluck commiseration of his state. And pluck commiseration, pluck means draw, commiseration again means pity, and draw pity of his state. State here means condition. You will feel pity on his condition, from brassy bosoms and rough hearts of flint. From brassy bosom is the heart, brassy means as hard as brass, and rough hearts of flint, rough hearts of flint means stony hearts, and rough stony hearts from stubborn Turks and Tartars never trained to offices of tender courtesy. Now, please understand, Turks and Tartars, they were Asiatic races who were supposed to be very cruel. They were supposed to be very cruel, very uncivilized. So, he says that the way you are showing brassy bosom, as hard as brass, you are showing your heart like that. You are showing your heart to be stony, like from stubborn Turks and Tartars who were never trained to the offices of tender courtesy. So all this you are just showing, this kind of cruelty or the harshness or the hardness of heart. What all you are showing is just pretending. Otherwise, you will show pity, you will show mercy to Antonio at the last moment. We all expect a gentle answer, Jew. Jew, we all expect an answer from you. For that, Shylock says, I have possessed your grace of what I purpose. I have possessed. Possessed means informed. I have already informed you of what I purpose, of what I intend. मैं क्या चाहता हूँ मैं आपको already बता चुका हूँ. And by our holy Sabbath have I sworn to have the due and forfeit of my bond. And by the holy Sabbath, I have sworn. Sabbath is actually Saturday. That is the seventh day of the Jewish week, which is supposed to be very sacred. So it says that I have sworn that I will have the due and forfeit of my bond. Means the penalty which has incurred for non-payment of the sum as per the bond, I want that only. If you deny it, let the danger light upon your charter. Charter is the law of Venice. If you deny it, then let the danger fall upon the law of your country and your city's freedom too, right? For that, he says, you'll ask me why I rather choose to have a weight of carrion flesh. Carrion means human flesh, than to receive 3000 ducats. अब आप मुझसे पूछोगे कि मैं 3000 ducats लेने की बजाय a weight of human flesh क्यों लेना चाहता हूं? I'll not answer that. मैं इसका जवाब नहीं दूंगा. But say it is my humor. But say it is my humor because I want it. मैं सिर्फ ये कहूंगा मैं ऐसा चाहता हूं इसलिए. Is it answered? क्या आपको आपका जवाब मिल गया? What if my house be troubled with a rat and I be pleased to give 10,000 ducats to have it baned? Baned means poison. He says, I don't care if I keep Antonio's flesh in my house and I get a rat over there, and even if I have to pay 10,000 ducats to poison that rat, I am ready to have it. What? Are you answered yet? क्या अब आपको आपका जवाब मिल गया? Some men there are love not a gaping pig. There are some people who do not love gaping pig. Gaping pig here refers to pig's head, roasted pig's head, which was used for eating. So he says there are some people who don't like pig's head. Some that are mad if they behold a cat. There are some people who get mad, who behave like mad people if they look at a cat, उनको बिल्लियों को देख के गुस्सा आ जाता है. And others, when the bagpipe sings in the nose, cannot contain their urine. And at the same time, there are some people who cannot contain their urine, who can't hold themselves when they listen to a bagpiper. For affection masters oft passion, because affection here means personal inclination, personal liking, disliking. Okay, because personal inclination, personal liking, disliking masters over passion. Passion means any emotion. हमारी खुद की पसंद नापसंद जो है वो किसी भी इमोशन को पर हावी हो जाती है, उसको मास्टर करती है, डोमिनेट करती है, sways it to the mood of what it likes or loathes. Loathes means hates or dislikes. And it gets influenced to our mood of what it likes or what it hates. Now for your answer. अब मैं आपका जवाब देता हूं. As there is no firm reason to be rendered means given, why he cannot abide a big gaping pig. जैसे कि इस बात का आप कोई firm reason नहीं दे सकते कि क्यों उस इंसान को गेपिंग पिग अच्छा नहीं लगता. Why he a harmless necessary cat, क्यों उसको एक सिंपल कैट अच्छी नहीं लगती. Why he a woolen bagpipe, but of force must yield to such inevitable shame. और या फिर एक सिंपल बैक पाइप की वजह से why should he fall himself into such inevitable shame as to offend himself being offended. So can I give no reason, nor I will not, more than a lodged hate. Lodged means deep rooted hate and a certain loathing I bear Antonio, that I follow thus a losing suit against him. जैसे कि इन सभी चीजों के लिए कोई फर्म रीजन नहीं दिया जा सकता, सिमिलरली इवन आई डोंट हैव अ रीजन एंड एट द सेम टाइम आई विल नॉट गिव एनी रीजन, rather than saying that it is some sort of deep rooted hate that I bear Antonio. मैं उससे नफरत करता हूं and that is why I am following such losing suit. हारने वाली ये मैंने petition, इसलिए a legal case in which I lose money. Okay, so that's why I filed it. Are you answered? Have you got your answer? Now, for that, Bassanio becomes very angry. He says, this is no answer, thou unfeeling man. To excuse the current of thy cruelty, to excuse the current of your cruelty, to excuse the flow of your cruelty, this is no answer. Shylock says, I am not bound to please thee with my answers. मुझे तुम्हें खुश करने की जरूरत नहीं है अपने आंसर्स की वजह से. Bassanio, do all men kill the things they do not love? क्या हर इंसान जो है जिन चीजों को वो पसंद नहीं करता उसको क्या मार देता है? Shylock hates any man the thing he would not kill. क्या कोई कह सकते हैं कि कोई आदमी इस चीज को हेट करता है अगर वो उसको नहीं मारेगा तो? Sanyo, every offense is not a hate at first. Please understand, every offense, every fault is not a hate at first. हर गलती नफरत नहीं होती. Shylock says, what? Wouldst thou have a serpent sting thee twice? क्या तुम चाहोगे कि कोई सांप तुम्हें दो बार काटे? Now Antonio says to Bassanio, I pray you, I request you, think you question with the Jew. Question here means argue. You think that you are arguing with the Jew. तुम ये सोचो कि तुम किससे बहस कर रहे हो, तुम एक जू से बहस कर रहे हो. You may as well go stand upon the beach and bid the main flood. Main flood here means main water, that is the wave. Okay? Bait means reduce its usual height. इससे अच्छा होगा कि तुम किसी सी बीच पर जाकर खड़े हो जाओ, जो ऊंची से ऊंची वेव हो ना, उसको कहो कि वो अपनी हाइट कम कर ले. You may as well use question with the wolf. Question again means argue with the wolf why he hath made the ewe beat for the lamb. You can even argue with a wolf and ask him why he has made the ewe. Ewe is a female sheep. Beat for its lamb. Bleat for its lamb. Bleat means cry for its lamb. वो क्यों तुमने उसको रुलाया? You may as well forbid the mountain pines to wag their high tops. Wag means wave their high tops you can understand, and to make no noise when they are threatened means blown with the gust of heaven means wind. You can even ask the mountain pines means pine trees on the mountains, you can forbid them, you can prevent them from waving their high tops and make no noise when they are blown with the wind. हवा चलने पे वो अपने हाई टॉप्स को हिलाए ना और आवाज ना करें, ये तुम उनको समझा सकते हो. You may as well do anything most hard as seek to soften that then which what's harder. यहां तक कि जो सबसे हार्ड चीज है ना, तुम उसको सॉफ्ट करने की कोशिश कर सकते हो, लेकिन बजाय उसके जो उससे भी ज्यादा हार्ड है, his Jewish heart. And what is that? That is his Jewish heart. Therefore, I do beseech you, therefore I request you, make no more offers. अब इससे ज्यादा ऑफर मत दो. Use no father means, अब इससे ज्यादा उसको कोई don't give him any means, but with all brave and plain conveniency, let me have judgment and the Jew his will. With all brief and plain conveniency means with speed and simplicity as it is convenient to you, let him have his will and let me have the judgment. Now Bassanio says, for thy 3,000 ducats, here is 6. So Bassanio makes him an offer. कि तुम double ले लो, take 6,000. Shylock says, if every ducat in 6,000 ducats were in 6 parts, and every part a ducat, I would not draw them. I would have my bond. अगर तुम्हारा हर डकेट जो है 6,000 डकेट्स के पार्ट्स में हो जाए और हर 6 पार्ट्स का एक डकेट हो, तब भी मैं उसे नहीं लूंगा, मुझे अपना बॉन्ड चाहिए. Duke says, how shall thou hope for mercy, rendering none, showing none, giving none? जब तक आप किसी पर दया दिखाएंगे नहीं, तो आप दया की उम्मीद कैसे कर सकते हैं? For that Shylock says, what judgment shall I dread doing no wrong? Dread here means fear. What judgment shall I fear doing no wrong? जब मैंने कुछ गलत ही नहीं किया, तो मैं किस बात से डरूं? You have among you many a purchased slave. Now you tell me, now he gives that there are many, you have so many people who have purchased slaves, okay, who have some slaves whom you have purchased, which, like your asses and your dogs and mules, you use in abject and in slavish part. Abject means mean, degrading, and in slavish parts means jobs, because you bought them. तुमने में से बहुत लोगों ने स्लेव्स को रखा हुआ है जिनको तुमने परचेज किया है और जिनसे तुम गधों की तरह कुत्तों की तरह काम करवाते हो, एंड यू मेक देम वर्क, यू मेक देम डू सच मीन एंड स्लेविश जॉब्स. And why do you make them do that? Because you have bought them, you have purchased them. Shall I say to you, let them be free, marry them to your heirs? Why sweat they under burdens? Let their beds be made as soft as yours and let their palates be seasoned with such viands. क्या मैं आपसे कहूं कि उनको फ्री कर दो, उनकी अपने बच्चों से शादियां करा दो, उनको क्यों वो किसी बर्डन में रहें, पसीना बहाएं, उनके बेड्स भी ऐसे सॉफ्ट बना दो जैसे तुम्हारे हैं. एंड लेट देयर पैलेट्स बी सीजनड विद डेकोरेटेड विद सच viands. Viands आर फूड डिशेस. ऐसी डिशेस उनको खाने को दो जैसे तुम खाते हो. You will answer, the slaves are ours. So what will you answer? कि वो हमारे slaves हैं. So do I answer you. हाँ, वो हमारे slaves हैं, हम जो मर्जी करें. So do I answer you. इसी तरह से मैं भी तुम्हें जवाब देता हूँ. The pound of flesh which I demand of him is dearly bought. The pound of flesh which I am demanding, that has been dearly bought. I have purchased it on an expensive term. It is mine and I will have it. If you deny me, fie upon your law, shame upon your law. There is no force in the decrees of Venice. Decrees means laws of Venice. I stand for judgment. Answer, shall I have it? Now, Duke says, now you see, Shylock here is being very strict and harsh even with the Duke. He says, I just want that pound of flesh, and there is no force in Venetian law which can stop me from having it. You just tell me clearly whether I will have it or not. For that, Duke says, upon my power, I may dismiss this court, unless Bellario, a learned doctor, doctor of law, whom I have sent for means called to determine means decide this, come here today. मैं चाहूं तो अपने पार में इस कोर्ट को डिसमिस कर सकता हूं तब जब तक कि Bellario, who is a doctor of law, whom I call to decide this case, come here today. जब तक वो नहीं आता. Salvio says, my lord, here stays without a messenger with letters from the doctor, new come from Padua. New come from means come just now from Padua. यहाँ पर stays means wait. यहाँ पर एक wait कर रहा है बंदा जो कि letters लेकर आया डॉक्टर से. Duke says, bring us the letters, call the messenger, बुलाओ उसको. Bassanio. Now, at that time, Antonio, we always know, since the beginning that Antonio is a melancholy character and he must be feeling sad. And Bassanio is trying to cheer him up. He says, good cheer, Antonio. What man, courage yet. The Jew shall have my flesh, blood, bones, and all. Ere means before thou shall lose for me one drop of blood. जू को मैं अपना सब कुछ दे दूंगा इससे पहले कि तुम्हारा एक ड्रॉप ब्लड भी lose hope. Antonio says, I am a tainted wether of the flock. I am a tainted wether. Tainted means diseased. Whether is a ram, male sheep is called ram. I am like a diseased ram of the flock. Meetest. Meetest means most suitable for death. Most suitable for death. The weakest kind of fruit drops earliest to the ground. I am like the weakest kind of fruit. मैं वो कमजोर fruit हूँ which drops earliest to the ground, जो कि सबसे पहले टूट कर गिर जाता है. And so let me be like this. You cannot better be employed, Bassanio, than to live still. Still here means always, and write mine epitaph. Epitaph is the inscription on a tombstone. Inscription on a tombstone is called